Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our SME webinar, Supporting Your Apprentice to Achieve. We will be starting very shortly. We're just allowing a few more people to join. As you know, our webinar today is Supporting Your Apprentices to Achieve. So why is achievement so important? We know that retention and achievement delivers maximum return on investments to the apprentice and to the employer, so driving up achievement is vital to all involved. Our presenters today will share with you their journey and ensure how they support achievements within their individual sectors. They'll look at potential barriers they've had and, of course, share their success. So I'm now very happy to introduce you to today's presenters. We have two fantastic companies represented today from two very different sectors. First, we have Carolyn Mars from Sort Legal and Claire Hicks from Rockley WaterSports. So I'm now going to hand over to Carolyn to get us started. Okay, thank you, Carolyn.
Hi everyone, so I'm Carolyn. I'm a HR and Operations Executive at Sort Group. So during this presentation, I will cover who we are, what we do and why we made the decision to start an apprenticeship programme and give you an overview of this, including some of our apprentice success stories. Sort Group is made up of three companies offering products and professional advice for the property industry, from an intermediary portal designed for mortgage brokers and estate agents to our own in-house law firm that specialises in conveyancing solutions. We're proud to hold a silver accreditation in Investors in People for our workplace and organisation culture. We are accredited in ISO 9001 and ISO 27001 for our quality systems and information security management, and certified in Cyber Essentials. We are also incredibly proud to have achieved number 24 ranking for the top 50 SME and apprentice employers, as well as Apprentice Mentor of the Year, which we gained last year. Sort Refer was one of the first of the three companies. It was launched in 2009 by a small team of experienced mortgage brokers who recognised that there was a need in the market for an online portal that other brokers could use to find conveyancing solutions for their clients. The portal acts as an intermediary for a wide range of products and services, from conveyancing to wills, and we've won and been nominated for a number of awards for our customer service, technology solutions and conveyancing products. Sort Move was launched in 2020, which provides a bespoke online hub of products similar to Sort Refer, but aimed specifically at estate agents. We set up Sort Legal in 2017 as our own in-house conveyancing solution. Clients can only access Sort Legal services when introduced through the Sort Refer portals, and we are proud to have won and been nominated for several industry awards. Our vision statement is to be at the forefront of the legal and financial sectors with our value-added software solutions backed by our exceptional employees to bring a best-in-class customer and consumer-focused service. Our values are communication, with the aim to focus effective communication across the group from director level down, as well as encouraging it amongst the departments. Growth and learning, with the aim to focus on personal aspirational growth and lifelong learning, developing people professionally. This is really where our apprenticeship programme comes in, as it's our aim to grow our own people who demonstrate knowledge with exceptional customer service in line with our own vision statement. And collaboration, this is a focus on how we work, use technology and encourage sharing of knowledge, which links in with our apprentice mentors and our training providers. So why apprenticeships? Recruiting and retaining staff in Sort Legal has always been a challenge since we very first launched in 2017, and it is becoming a national issue in the conveyancing industry, as the role of property solicitors can often be viewed as stressful and undervalued. We then experienced additional challenges in 2020, with COVID pushing many trained and licensed individuals away from the industry into other sectors of law or completely different industries. So we saw this challenge as an opportunity to put together a programme that would help us to bring in individuals with little or no experience who wanted to carve out a career in law and who we could then nurture and develop into conveyancing professionals. We researched apprenticeship training providers, but as this was all new to us, we really wanted a local provider who could offer advice and support throughout the process. So we met with our local further education college. They visited our offices and met some of our staff. We discussed our plans, what talent we wanted to bring into Sort Legal, and how we can support those individuals to achieve progression within the industry. Once we had an idea of the level of apprentice we wanted to recruit and train, we looked at the best apprenticeship course that would be the most beneficial for the job specifications, and we decided on a business administration level for the conveyancing department. This would be in level 3. It's equivalent to achieving an A-level standard and typically takes approximately 18 to 20 months to complete. We chose this particular course because of the transferable knowledge and skills, as the aim is for the apprentice to work independently as well as part of a conveyancing team, maintaining and developing administrative services and learning the conveyancing process from the initial setting up of a case right through to completion, and will work as an assistant to a qualified conveyancer during each step of the legal process and their apprenticeship. The college's recruitment team support us with sourcing suitable applicants through their own talent pool and also through the government apprenticeship website, and we'll take them through their screening protocols before sending on the applications to us. So we do get a lot of support from our training provider. We also recognise an opportunity within our finance department, and this would be to train up people in legal cashiering. However, we experienced some challenges initially with this, as the training provider that we found who specialised in finance apprenticeships, within the first 2 terms, it became clear that the tutor support wasn't adequate. We were struggling with communication, the relationship just wasn't working. So we then looked to change that provider. We ended that relationship and we moved over to another provider of AAT courses. This has proved to be much more successful in helping us find the right candidates to begin with, and the ongoing tutor support for our apprentices is much improved and led to a very successful partnership. So what we currently offer. Within our conveyancing department, we have 6 apprentices who are currently working within our new business and remortgage teams. Their roles are classed as administration assistants, and they work closely with their mentors, who are either experienced paralegals, licensed conveyancers or solicitors. The apprentice works alongside their mentor, assisting them at each step of the legal process, from opening up the case, checking ID, completing anti-money laundering checks, requesting mortgage offers and responding to queries by telephone and email. During the last 12 months alone, we've had 7 apprentices all successfully completing their apprenticeships, and we have been able to offer them all permanent roles. They've each been promoted to paralegals in either our remortgage or post-completion teams. This is a real successful story for us, as it has supported the overall expansion of Sort Legal. Within our finance department, we currently have 3 apprentices who joined us at the start of last year. They're all working towards their AAT level 3. Their roles within the group are trainee legal cashiers, and they each work closely with their mentors on a one-to-one basis. Each of the mentors have previously completed their own apprentices at AAT level 3, and they've all now been promoted to management accountants, and they're all now working towards their AAT level 4. These mentors support the daily running of the cashier team, support with coaching and development and training in compliance and anti-money laundering policies. This is another great example of where we have grown our own professionals and also continue to help them to achieve their full potential. I'm very proud to say that within the last month, 2 of those mentors have passed their AAT level 4 and are now qualified accountants, which is a fantastic achievement. So apprenticeships have benefited our business by bringing in diversity and fresh new ideas and new ways of working. All the apprentices have been very keen, positive individuals and have joined with enthusiasm, which has helped to support our core company values, of which one is growth and learning. As mentioned, it's also helped us to develop those who have been assigned as mentors to the apprentices, as it has allowed them to take on more responsibility and grow as trainers and supervisors. It has helped us overcome the difficulties with recruiting, as it has enabled us to nurture and develop according to our core values and train to the levels expected by our customers and the industry. Our success is also recognised across the conveyancing industry as well as elsewhere. Our recent awards, which we're very proud of, the Top 50 SME Apprenticeship Employer ranking position 24. We were shortlisted at the Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire Apprenticeship Awards, and we also won Mentor of the Year at the Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire Apprenticeship Awards, and that was for our Director of Remortgage, Janet Quinlan-Jones. As well as gaining their apprenticeship qualifications, our apprentices build up a wealth of experience of the job role from their on-the-job training, whilst also earning a salary and provides them with transferable workplace skills. We have seen all of our individuals grow in knowledge and confidence. We've retained all of those who have passed their apprenticeships by offering them permanent job roles within Salt Legal, which has also given them continued career progression within the industry, either down the legal or financial route. Some of our successful apprentices have gone on to work towards their CLC qualification to become a licensed conveyancer, or with an accountancy, compliance or anti-money laundering. Our biggest achievement has been growing our business over a relatively short period of time through developing, nurturing and growing our own talent and retaining those people. Here are two of our shining stars. Pfizer. She joined us in May 2021 as an apprentice admin assistant and embarked on her apprenticeship in business administration. It took 18 months from start to finish, spending 1 day a week at college. She required some additional support from her mentor during her apprenticeship in the form of more regular one-to-one coaching, as she was really struggling to pass her maths exams, which completely knocked her confidence for a while. She then qualified in June 2023 and was given a permanent role and promoted to remortgage paralegal. Since then, she has grown from strength to strength, providing a professional and quality service and receiving regular compliments from our customers on her knowledge and helpfulness. James joined Salt Legal from sixth form in the summer of 2019 as an apprentice legal cashier within the accounts team. And since then, he has developed considerably with several key promotions along the way and now manages the whole accounts team, reporting into the group managing director. He's one of the mentors that I was speaking about earlier, who's just completed his AAT level 4, now a qualified accountant, and has been promoted to group finance manager. A massive achievement, and we're all very proud of him. He's now got a future opportunity to study towards being a chartered accountant, of which he's going to look to decide on in the near future. Apprentice mentors. We assign mentors per apprentice and based on the experience and knowledge of that individual. They are DBS checked and we take into account the level of experience, skill and workplace expectations for those working with young workers, including any necessary risk assessments. It's also extremely important for us to meet with the training providers, tutors at the start of the apprentice's learning journey, which has proven invaluable in forming a successful collaboration. We are very grateful for the continued support we receive from both of our training providers in helping our apprentices to achieve their goals through regular communication and progress review meetings. Our mentors help our apprentices to achieve by providing continued coaching and development through daily catch-ups, on-the-job coaching, to more formal one-to-one meetings and annual development plans. The mentor also works alongside myself and their college tutors to help the apprentice achieve their goals by working through any issues with them. So this could be allowing them additional study time or providing extra coaching sessions if they're struggling, and a regular review of their progress. A large part of the daily support is through instilling confidence and empowering the individuals. Conveyancing can be a very stressful role, and some will have moments of self-doubt or lack confidence, so we will act as a sounding board and work with them on recognising where they need that little bit of an extra push or morale boost and create an action plan to support them through those challenges. Another important factor is helping the apprentices to manage expectations from a company values standpoint. These skills are crucial to ensure the apprentice feels comfortable and works in an environment where they know exactly what is expected of them. The mentors all sign an apprentice agreement which clarifies their responsibilities as mentors and any extra steps involved in ensuring the apprentice's well-being and safety at work. The next photo is of our Director of Remortgage, Janet. She's the lovely lady who won the Mentor of the Year at the Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire Apprenticeship Awards. She's done an amazing job with the remortgage team apprentices. So for the future, due to the success of our current programmes, we're now planning to recruit more apprentices in other departments within SORT Group. We're looking at apprenticeships within the wider group, such as the sales and marketing departments, as we believe that our apprenticeship programmes will support with the overall growth and success of SORT Group. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. A really useful insight and some incredible information you shared with us today that looks at how you support your apprentices to ensure they achieve and how critical the mentors are in both the process and ongoing support. I would now like to hand over to our final presenter, Claire Hicks from Rockley WaterSports. Thank you, Claire. Over to you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks everyone for joining us today. It's really nice to be able to share our apprenticeship journey. So I'm going to talk about what we run at Rockley WaterSports. So we run the Level 3 Outdoor Activity Instructor Apprenticeship. Okay, so I'm guessing some of you may not have heard of Rockley before. So we're based down in the south. We're based in Poole in Dorset. All of the pictures that you can see in the background, they are basically throughout the presentation, either our apprentices or our centre. So this is our main centre in Poole. We are literally right on the shores of Poole Harbour. We are one of the UK's leading water sports and activity trip providers. We've been running since 1976. We've been going about 50 years now. And our vision is to change people's lives by sharing our passion for the water and the outdoors. So as you can imagine, running apprenticeships feeds straight into that vision. So yeah, we've been going nearly 50 years. For about the last 15 years, we've been running sixth form education. So we have approximately 100 students with us on education programmes full-time all year round. And that's my job as head of education. So I look after our sixth form students and our apprentices. This is our first cohort of apprentices that you can see in the background there. So we started running apprentices 4 years ago, and we feel like we've got a proven track record at what we're doing today. So I'm going to try my best to chat through that and give you all as much info as I can about what we do. Hopefully it might help you guys out a bit more. So we've been running the Level 3 Outdoor Activity Instructor Apprenticeship for 4 years. We have a consistently high achievement rate, with the majority of our students gaining distinctions in their endpoint assessment. We were delighted this year to be ranked 28th in the top 50 SME apprenticeship employers. That really meant a lot to us because apprenticeships were quite new to us at Rockley. I joined the company 5 years ago, and it was one of the first things I started developing. Each year we recruit between 6 to 10 apprentices. We were always limited to 10 apprentices as an SME, but the apprenticeship cap has been lifted now. So we're very much looking at ways we can expand our apprenticeship programme, and because it's gone so well, we're looking to recruit more apprentices moving forward. So a few things in my slides are all around why apprenticeships are so important to us at Rockley and why our achievement, or some ideas as to why our achievement could be so high. So one of the key things for us is culture. In the picture there, you can see some of our apprentices having a session with our managing director. In the background there is Rob, who was our operations director as well. So our apprentices are immersed into a culture at Rockley where they're really valued, and that culture really supports their achievement. We create a hands-on learning environment for them, and we provide them with guidance throughout the whole time that they're on the apprenticeship with us. We encourage them to ask questions, and we very much allow them to make mistakes if anything, we encourage them to make mistakes and learn while they're with us. I was in class with the apprentices yesterday, and we were discussing various things that have gone wrong on sessions or things that they need to work on, and they're very openly talking to me about that, and I can mentor and guide them and help them. And that's a culture that we encourage across the whole of the business. Similar to Carolyn that was talking, all of our apprentices have a dedicated mentor. Our mentors in the business have a detailed understanding of everything we do at Rockley, and also our apprenticeship standard and the endpoint assessment. They also have a good range of knowledge around assessment methods so that they can actually help people to achieve their best. One of the things that's wonderful is there's numerous staff that are involved with the apprenticeship across the whole time they're training with us. So they get exposure to a variety of skilled professionals. It's not just one person looking after them. So I think that culture really helps. We try as much as possible to tailor the learning opportunities. So our students are based on site the whole time. So all of their learning is on site. They don't go off to a local college. Everything is done on site. They're not taught online. Everything is done in a real world outdoor environment and real world scenarios daily. So our apprentices are learning from the minute they start. They're immersed in a working water sports centre and a busy water sports centre right from the off. We therefore emphasise hands-on learning. We make it realistic, it's relevant, and we're always then applying the learning. The apprentices throughout their programme, they engage in various outdoor activities. I think at Rockley we run about 40 different activities. They will be trained in all of those and they'll be exposed to all of those. They can then choose their favourite activity to deliver for their endpoint assessment. So the endpoint assessment for us is that they need to deliver a 90-minute session. So they get to work out during their training which one is most important to them, and then they get to choose. As part of their job, because they are delivering sessions every day, they effectively get lots of time to practice their endpoint assessment throughout the whole time they're with us. We're really lucky with our standard that our endpoint assessment is so related to their job. So effectively every day they're delivering, they're practicing their endpoint assessment. So we very much encourage a collaborative experience at Rockley. So our apprentices, when they start with us, our previous apprentices are still in the business. So what I mean by that is we recruit apprentices every year, but there is a crossover of about 2 months where the old apprentices are also employed with the new apprentices. So there's a really nice transition. So they're always around existing apprentices. Not all of our apprentices stay in the business, which is part of the industry that we're in. A lot of them aspire to work abroad, travel. But throughout the business, we've got numerous key members of staff that have come through the apprenticeship and are still involved. So what's really nice for our new apprentices when they start, the existing apprentices are still around and about in the business. Our current apprentices, when they're on shift, they are never working by themselves. So what that leads to is a real team spirit. So they really work together and they really support each other. And we really place value on that. On the back of all of our T-shirts, it says #Team Rockley, and we really encourage that team culture. So what challenges have we experienced? So when I started 5 years ago at Rockley, there was an initial issue with getting buy-in from staff for apprenticeship delivery. There was a few concerns around the quality of delivery, the costs around running an apprenticeship programme, the costs around training and the level of experience that our apprentices might have. And there was concerns that having less experienced instructors might actually devalue our main product, which is delivering to our school and activity groups. We haven't had that at all. If anything, our apprentices have strengthened our delivery because they're with us for much longer. So they are real champions of Rockley and what we do. But that was a concern right at the start, or a challenge right at the start. We did have lockdown and COVID throughout one of our cohorts. That was particularly challenging. So I think that's something to bear in mind as SMEs in the future. That might be something that you might need to tackle again, hopefully not. But we did have to move to delivering remotely and looking after our apprentices remotely. We then also had to do our endpoint assessment through video assessment. So things do change with the apprenticeship, and I think that's something we all need to be mindful of. Another challenge that you might experience, and certainly one we did, is which endpoint assessment organisation to choose. There are lots across the apprenticeship standards. So I'd always say speak to any other SMEs that are running the apprenticeship you're interested in and see which ones they use. We've used two in the past, and they're both very, very different, and what they ask of the apprentices is very, very different. So it's just working out which one suits your apprentices best. The other challenge we have experienced is working with the endpoint assessment organisation to arrange dates for the endpoint assessments. So I think starting a conversation with them early really, really helps. So arrange those dates early in a way that suits you and your business. So success stories. I could talk about success stories for a long time. One thing that's really wonderful is that we have a lot of our apprentices staying in the business. One of our apprentices now is our guest services manager at one of our biggest land-based centres, where we have about 400 school kids on site every week. We also have apprentices now who are in lead instructor roles, activity managers, and one of our current apprentices aspires to be our future managing director. So what's lovely is we have got success stories from our apprenticeship, and our students, when they join us as new apprentices, they know that we're aiming high. They know that the majority of our apprentices gain distinctions when they start, and so we set that high expectation right from the start. So we do celebrate our apprentices' success and their achievements. We do champion them, and we do all of that to raise their aspirations and help them achieve more. The biggest success story outside of that is that the apprenticeship programme has really helped us fill a skills gap in the business that we wouldn't have been able to fill otherwise. What we've found is that very much the other outdoor education centres had to close in previous years, whereas we've been able to keep going because we've had staff. Okay, that's it from me. So thank you for listening about Rockley WaterSports. I hope I've helped a bit. You can connect with me on LinkedIn if you would like any more help or to chat further. You can find me on there as Claire Hicks.
Oh, thank you, Claire. Also for adding your
Pleasure.
dimension to the webinar, particularly about EPA, fantastic, and all about addressing the issues as early as possible, and of course working closely with your providers. So we'd just like to say a massive thank you to both presenters today. I think you've done a brilliant job in showcasing achievements and how in different sectors you've overcome the barriers to success, and how important ongoing support is, but also celebration as well. So moving on, we're now going to open up our Q&A session. We've probably only got about 2 to 3 minutes, but I'm just going to hand over to Anthony now to take us through a couple of the questions. Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, Julie, and good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm Anthony Knowles, Head of Employer Insight at DFE. Wonderful presentations, Carolyn and Claire. Absolutely fascinating to hear your different approaches, but also the commonalities. I can't see any questions in the Q&A panel, but I mean, by all means, if people do want to ask those, pop them in there. If we don't get time today, we'll answer them another time. But one of the things that I was really fascinated to hear about was the importance of mentoring, and you both seem to suggest that you've got apprentices, former apprentices, mentoring your new ones. So do you think that's a particularly important point, getting people who've been down the path before involved?
Yeah, great question, Anthony. Yeah, absolutely. I think the benefit for then the new apprentices coming in is they can map their journey forward. They can see where they might end up going. So yeah, mentoring has been really impactful for us. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my other question would be, I suppose, I mean, you both said that, you know, you're keen to do more and explore doing other areas. You know, if you're going to do that, have you got MD sort of board level or CEO? I don't know the size of your organisations. Have you got support for that?
Yeah, we have now. When I first started, maybe 5 years ago, I don't think we would have had that level of support. But absolutely, now everyone at Rockley has very much seen how positive the apprenticeship programme has been to us as a business. So yeah, absolutely. We have actually started the Learning and Skills Teacher Apprenticeship, which we've been running this last few months. We started that in September, so that's our first one that we're moving into. But yeah, we really value apprenticeships. It's Carolyn mentioned it in her presentation about growing your own staff, and I think that's something that both of us as organisations both feel is really important. So yeah.
I agree, Claire. Yeah, we've got a lot of support now from our CEO and our group managing director. They've seen the success stories that we've had so far in just a short space of time as well, with the apprenticeships that, you know, we've come, you know, that we've had just within the space of the last few years. So it's certainly something that we're looking at exploring for other areas of the business, because we do think it's going to help grow the business. But we're really impressed with what we've achieved so far with our apprentices.
Brilliant, thanks both.
Thank
I can see some questions coming in now. Can we just do a couple quickly, Julie? Sorry.
No,
I'm
that's
sure
fine.
if people have to leave, they can catch up on the recording later.
Absolutely.
But Denise, thank you for asking. Was it an easy process to change training providers when you felt your apprentices were not getting the best support?
Oh, good question.
We looked at various training providers for our AAT level. We started with one, and we recognised quite early on actually that it just wasn't working. The tutor support wasn't adequate at all. We were struggling with communication, and we kind of nipped it in the bud quite early on, really, because it just wasn't fair on the apprentices. So we had to research, but it was something that we had to do, and we managed to find another provider, and it's been, you know, it's been the making really of the finance department for us doing that. And we've got a very good relationship now with our AAT training provider, so we're thankful for that change.
Okay, thanks, Carolyn. I've got a question for Claire specifically. Do you deliver your own qualifications? Thank you, Kim, for that one.
Yes, we do. Yeah, so all of our apprentices, they all do in-house training, and we're an RYA accredited centre, so they do, which is the Royal Yachting Association for sailing governing body for water sports predominantly. So yeah, we do all of our own training in-house. So yeah, our apprentices get mentored. We're lucky at Rockley, we have a higher number than most outdoor centres of coach assessors on site, so they're higher level coach and trainers. So yeah, we do all of that training ourselves. So yeah, that really helps.
Okay, great. I can see a couple of other questions from Dawn and Michael. We will get back to you, but I'm afraid we haven't got time. Thank you, Carolyn and Claire, for that.
Absolutely.
We'll share. Thank you. We'll share all the answers with everybody in the post-event material. Over to you, Julie. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. So we really want to wrap up the webinar now, and it's just to remind you that today's webinar was the first in our SME webinar series for this year. You can see the schedule on the screen. These are the confirmed topics and dates for this year. If you wish to subscribe to any other further opportunities, the link for the registration page is going in the chat now. And we're just going to pop a final poll into the chat function. If you could complete that now, I would really appreciate that. So to conclude, following the webinar, we will be sending out a short survey for you to complete. And again, if you have time, we would appreciate it, as what we get from the surveys does inform and shape future webinars. In addition, All the information today with regards to the slides, the Q&A documents and a link to our employer portal will be sent out in an email to you all. And just thank you all for your time, and most of all thank you for the presenters for giving up their time and expertise today. Thank you.